Eric Dane, the actor famous for his role on Grey's Anatomy, died at the age of 53. He passed away following a long battle with ALS. He shared his diagnosis with the public in 2025. Known to millions as McSteamy, he brought a quiet confidence and charisma to every scene. Before his television success, he spent years working in dramas and soaps to build his reputation. He also led the cast of The Last Ship, where he played a commanding naval officer. In his final year, he used his platform to raise awareness for those fighting the same disease. He faced his illness with the same strength he showed in his characters. Fans will miss his presence on screen and his commitment to his work. Loni Anderson, the actress famous for her role on WKRP in Cincinnati, died at the age of 79. She passed away from metastatic uterine leiomyosarcoma, which is a rare and aggressive form of cancer. She became a major television star in the late 1970s, playing Jennifer Marlowe. While many focused on her looks, she proved herself to be a talented comedic actress with a sharp sense of timing. She starred in many movies and series throughout the 80s and 90s. She remained a stylish figure in Hollywood for decades. She was also an advocate for various health charities and used her fame to help others. We remember the charm, the humor, and the professionalism she brought to every project. Joy Harmon, the American actress who appeared in several classic 1960s films, died at the age of 87 due to cardiopulmonary arrest. She earned a place in movie history for an unforgettable scene in Cool Hand Luke. That moment remains one of the most famous in cinema. Throughout the 60s, she was a frequent guest on popular television shows, from westerns to sitcoms. She had a bright screen presence that made her a favorite of directors. Later in life, she stepped away from acting to run her own successful bakery business. She showed that a person could find success and happiness outside of the Hollywood spotlight. We remember the energy she brought to the golden age of television. She lived a full life long after her days in front of the camera ended. Jason Collins, the former NBA center and advocate, died at the age of 47. He passed away due to stage 4 glioblastoma, which is an aggressive form of brain cancer. He played 13 seasons in the league for several teams and earned respect as a hard-working defender. In 2013, he made history by becoming the first active male athlete in a major American professional team sport to come out as gay. This brave decision changed the conversation about inclusion in sports and inspired many young athletes. After retiring from basketball, he worked as a speaker and a voice for social change. We remember his strength on the court and his commitment to living an authentic life. He faced his health battle with the same courage he showed throughout his public life. Bob Kevoian, the longtime host of the Bob and Tom Show, died at the age of 75. He passed away after a 3-year battle with gastric cancer. He documented his experience on his own podcast to help others. For over 30 years, his voice was a morning ritual for millions of radio listeners. He had natural comedic timing and a signature laugh that made the show feel like a daily chat between friends. Along with his partner, Tom Griswold, he helped build a broadcasting empire. This show changed the face of morning radio across the country. Even in retirement, he remained a beloved figure in the industry. We will miss the humor and the genuine human connection he provided to his audience every day. Bud Cort, the actor who became an icon of 1970s cinema, died at the age of 77. He passed away from pneumonia after a long illness. He is best known for his starring role in Harold and Maude. This film became a symbol of the counterculture. With his expressive eyes and unique screen presence, he played characters that were both vulnerable and memorable. He worked with many of the greatest directors of his era. He appeared in a wide variety of films and stage plays. Throughout his life, he remained a respected figure in the independent film community. We remember the heart and the quirkiness he brought to every role. He was an actor who was never afraid to be different. Sam Moore, the legendary soul singer, died at the age of 89 due to complications from surgery. As one half of the duo Sam and Dave, he helped define the sound of soul music in the 1960s. His powerful voice is heard on classic tracks like Soul Man and Hold On, I'm Comin'. These songs are still celebrated today. He was a dynamic performer who could command any stage with his energy and vocal range. After the duo split, he had a successful solo career and worked with many of the biggest names in music. He was a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We remember the soul and the fire he brought to every performance. He was a giant of American music who influenced countless singers. Riff Hutton, the prolific American character actor, died at the age of 73 due to glioblastoma. This aggressive brain cancer took a man who was one of the most reliable actors in the business. If you watched television between the 1980s and the 2010s, you likely saw his face in dozens of different roles. He was a master of the character part. He brought a sense of reality and weight to every scene he was in. From recurring roles on legal dramas to guest spots on hit sitcoms, he was always professional. He also had a successful career as a voice actor for commercials and animated projects. Colleagues always praised his ability to improve any script he was given. We remember the many characters he brought to life on our screens over several decades. Garret Anderson, the legendary Angels outfielder, died at the age of 53. He passed away from acute necrotizing pancreatitis at his home in California. This condition involves severe inflammation and tissue death in the pancreas. Fans remember him as one of the most consistent hitters of his era. He was a central part of the 2002 World Series championship team. He played 15 seasons for the Angels and held franchise records for hits and runs. Anderson was a three-time All-Star who played the game with a quiet focus. This earned him the respect of players and fans alike. After his playing days ended, he stayed close to the sport as a television analyst. The baseball world remembers his smooth swing and his professional approach to the game. Bobby Cox, the Hall of Fame manager of the Atlanta Braves, died at the age of 84. He passed away due to complications from a long illness. He led the Braves to an unprecedented run of 14 straight division titles and a World Series victory in 1995. Cox was known as a player's manager. He would always defend his team, even if it meant getting ejected from the game. This fierce loyalty made him a legend in Atlanta and earned him a spot in Cooperstown. Before managing, he had a career as a player and worked his way through the coaching ranks. The entire baseball community mourns the loss of a leader who defined a generation of the sport. We remember the winning culture he built through decades of hard work. Darrell Sheets, the reality television star from Storage Wars, passed away at the age of 66. He passed away due to suicide. Known as the Gambler, he became a fan favorite for his high-stakes bidding. He had a unique ability to spot hidden value in cluttered lockers. He appeared on the show for many seasons and often worked with his son. His big personality and his wow factor catches were a central part of the show's success. Away from the cameras, he was a family man who enjoyed the thrill of hunting for antiques and collectibles. We remember the excitement he brought to the auction block and his sharp eye for a diamond in the rough. He was a colorful figure who made the world of storage auctions interesting to millions. Alex Zanardi, the Italian racing icon and Paralympic gold medalist, died at the age of 59. He passed away after a long, private battle with severe neurological and physical complications. These stemmed from a serious 2020 hand cycling crash. His life showed incredible resilience after a 2001 racing accident resulted in the loss of both his legs. He returned to competition in a hand cycle and won multiple gold medals at the Paralympic Games. He was a two-time IndyCar champion before his accident and continued to race specially modified cars later in life. His positive outlook and refusal to be limited by his circumstances inspired people across the globe. We remember his incredible spirit and his belief that determination can overcome any obstacle. He was a true champion in every sense of the word. Jim Whittaker, the first American to reach the summit of Mount Everest, died at the age of 97 due to natural causes. His historic 1963 climb turned him into a symbol of adventure. This feat opened the door for generations of American mountaineers. He spent his long life exploring the wilderness and advocating for the protection of the environment. As the first full-time employee and former CEO of REI, he helped change the outdoor industry. He believed that nature was the best place for people to test their limits and find peace. We remember his pioneering spirit and his lifelong dedication to the mountains. He remained an active voice for conservation well into his 90s. His legacy lives on in every climber who follows his path. Jesse Jackson, the towering figure of the American civil rights movement, died at the age of 84. He passed away due to progressive supranuclear palsy. This is a rare and progressive neurodegenerative disease. For over 6 decades, he was a leading voice for justice and equality. He worked alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the 1960s and later founded the Rainbow Push Coalition. He made history with 2 presidential runs that helped future leaders of color. Even in his final years, he remained active in the national conversation on civil rights and voting access. We remember his lifelong service and his ability to move a nation with his words. He was a man who never stopped fighting for the marginalized. Robert Mueller, the former FBI director and public servant, died at the age of 81 due to natural causes. He spent his career in the highest levels of the American legal system. He served under both Republican and Democratic presidents. He led the FBI through the aftermath of the September 11th attacks. Later, he was appointed as special counsel for a high-profile investigation. Known for his strict adherence to the law and his professional silence, he earned the respect of colleagues everywhere. He lived a life defined by duty and a commitment to the institutions of the United States. We remember his steady leadership during some of the most difficult periods in modern history. He was a man of few words who let his actions speak for him. Neil Sedaka, the singer and songwriter whose career spanned 6 decades, died at the age of 86. He passed away due to atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, with kidney failure listed as a contributing factor. He was a teenage idol in the late 1950s with hits like Oh Carol. After a period away from the charts, he made a massive comeback in the 1970s with songs like Laughter in the Rain. He was a master of melody who wrote classic songs for himself and many other artists. His music provided the soundtrack for multiple generations of fans. We remember his talent at the piano and the timeless songs that will be played for years to come. He was a true professional who loved the craft of songwriting. Frederick Wiseman, the master of the documentary film, died at the age of 96. He spent more than 50 years documenting American institutions. His style used no narration or interviews. Films such as Titicut Follies and Hospital are essential pieces of cinema history. He believed that the camera should simply observe the world and let the audience draw its own conclusions. This honest approach earned him many awards, including an honorary Oscar. He continued to release new films into his 90s. This showed a dedication to his craft that never wavered. We remember the clear and insightful look he gave us into the hidden corners of society. He changed how we look at the world through a lens. Stanisława Celińska, the celebrated Polish actress and singer, died at the age of 79 due to natural causes. She was a constant presence in the Polish arts for over 50 years. Her work moved between difficult stage dramas and popular music. Fans noticed her range in the early 1970s when she worked with major European directors. Her career had a second life later on as her gravelly singing voice found a new audience. She performed with an honesty that felt personal to everyone who watched her. Even in her final years, she released albums that sold very well. We remember the grit she brought to every character she played. Her presence on the screen helped define a generation of Polish cinema. She stayed active in the industry until her health began to decline. Her voice and her acting style left a lasting impression on her country. Donald Gibb, the American actor known for his roles in Revenge of the Nerds and Bloodsport, died at the age of 71 after a long illness. He passed away at his home in Texas. Most people recognize him as the towering presence of Ogre. That character became a symbol of 1980s comedy. Before he started acting, he played college football and had a brief career in the pros. This physical background made him a natural choice for tough guy roles. He later became a well-known figure in the martial arts community through his role as Ray Jackson. Outside of Hollywood, he spent time in the brewing industry. Friends knew him for a friendly personality that was the opposite of his scary characters. He had a unique look that directors loved. Fans of action movies and comedies will miss his energy. Fleury de Nallo, the legendary French footballer, died at the age of 83. Known as the Little Prince of Gerland, he is the top scorer in the history of the Lyon Football Club. He played 14 seasons for his home team. Such loyalty is rare in the modern sport. During the 1960s and 70s, he led his side to several trophies and played 10 times for the French national team. After he retired from playing, he stayed active in football through scouting and coaching. He lived in Lyon and stayed close to the game until his final days. Supporters remember his agility on the pitch and his ability to score from almost any angle. He was a hero to the fans who watched him lead the attack for over a decade. Sir Kenneth Keith, the distinguished New Zealand judge, died at the age of 88 due to natural causes. He spent his life working with the complexities of international law. He served as a judge on the International Court of Justice in The Hague. His legal career started in Wellington and took him to the highest courts in his country. Keith believed that clear rules and justice were the only ways to resolve disputes between nations. Beyond the courtroom, he taught a generation of lawyers as a professor at various universities. Colleagues often mentioned his sharp mind and his practical approach to difficult legal questions. He dedicated his long life to public service at home and on the global stage. He remained a respected mentor until his passing. His work changed how many people view international cooperation. Chuck Norris, the American legendary action film star, died at the age of 86 due to declining health. He passed away in Hawaii after a long career as a martial artist and actor. Many fans remember him for roles in films like Missing in Action and his long-running television series Walker, Texas Ranger. Before he became an actor, he was a world-class martial artist who won many championships. He was a disciplined athlete who brought strength and justice to all his characters. His presence on the screen made him a global icon of the action genre. We remember his physical skill and the legendary status he earned. He was a man of discipline who inspired many to take up martial arts. Now remembering celebrities who we lost in the past this month. 3 years ago this month, singer Tina Turner died at the age of 83. She rebuilt her career in the 1980s with a series of successful rock albums. People remember her for her high-energy performances and her ability to connect with a crowd. Her music continues to reach new listeners today. 4 years ago this month, actor Ray Liotta died at the age of 67. He earned a reputation for playing intense characters, most notably Henry Hill in Goodfellas. He worked in Hollywood for over 40 years, appearing in both big-budget films and television dramas. Many respected his direct and professional acting style. 11 years ago this month, bassist B.B. King died at the age of 89. He spent decades on the road, often playing more than 250 shows a year. His guitar style and his famous instrument, Lucille, influenced generations of guitarists. He remained a central figure in the blues world until his final days. 3 years ago this month, bassist Andy Rourke died at the age of 59. He was a member of the alternative rock band The Smiths during the 1980s. His melodic bass lines were a core part of the group's sound. After the band ended, he worked as a session musician for many international artists. 32 years ago this month, racing driver Ayrton Senna died at the age of 34. He won 3 Formula One World Championships and was known for his speed and focus on the track. Fans around the world still remember his competitive spirit. He is still considered a hero in his home country of Brazil.